Little T, man. It's a whole lot of mob shit.
What's up, everybody? It's Big South here. Y'all already know what's going on. We rocking with More to Live For, the only voice of the North. We still heating up, baby. I'm out of here. South.
Welcome back to another exclusive edition of More to Live For. Shout out to all my subscribers, man, new, old. If you check on the channel here and there, man, as long as you watch, I definitely appreciate you, man. Once again, man, I am, real close to getting this channel monetized, man. I've been doing good with the algorithm lately, so keep the ball rolling. So what we got right here is the fourth installment of the Rashad White Chronicles, man. Free the homie Rashad, as always. So, over the years, a lot of projects that I've been doing, with people that's behind that wall. Shout out to the homie in Mississippi, the homegirl in GA that I've been able to work with. All that came from, trying to have a full understanding of what the homie going through and to, to help somebody else out that's in a similar situation get their voice out. Basically being a voice for the voiceless. So all that came from supporting the homie. So to have him in a position now that, he can be able to, talk about some of his experiences or whatever, and it's like it's his voice or whatever instead of, him delivering messages through me. So yeah, this right here, man, this is a good project, man. So yeah, this the homie Rashad White, man, the fourth installment. Rashad White Chronicles, man. Right now, what he's talking about is basically like his transition, going from central prison, which is a process and reception type of prison, whatever, in North Carolina, whatever, to actually like the first penitentiary he landed at, which is Tabor City Correctionals. It's south of where we at. It's like real close to South Carolina, whatever. But that was just the beginning, and he's talking about some of the stuff that he went through, man. Like he's 17 in, and this shit about to end. So free the homie Rashad White, man, and like, comment, subscribe, everybody that's new to the channel, man. More to live for. Voice of the North. You already know.
So the crazy thing about the time I did at CP, the little month and some change that I did was that I went to CP with a 10 to 12 year sentence, and I ended up leaving with 25 years. And the reason that came about is because I was already at CP because I got my time in Pitt County for the charges that put me in the prison in the first place. So I had ended up with a 10 to 12 year sentence. So by this time now I'm at CP, I'm processing or whatever, but I still got a pending robbery charge in Tabor, which is Edgecombe County. And, you know, one day I wasn't supposed to go to court till like November of that year, but out of nowhere one night they told me to pack up. I'm going to court. Now this in June, so this is about 5 months early that I'm going to court. And I had one pending robbery charge. I ended up going to court and end up getting consecutive sentences. I got 9 to 12 more years added with 10 to 12 I already had. So altogether, it came up to 25 years and some change. That's how I ended up with the 25 years by the time I end up leaving CP. Uh, so what I want to talk about now is some of the relationships that I made while at Central Prison. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is in the same position, pretty much. We all just leaving the county jail. We all just got our time. We all coming from different cities, different areas, different counties. And everybody got their own experiences. But a few niggas that I met that I end up getting tight with was One nigga was named D. My nigga D was from Charlotte. He had like a 15-year sentence. He had a murder charge or whatever. Me and D used to sit down and chop it up, and build. And D really didn't have nobody as far as family out there. He told me his story a little bit, and that's kind of the worst way to do time when you don't have no type of outside support. And that's the situation that my nigga was in, like he ain't had nobody to call, nobody to write. Like, it's like he was forgotten, you know what I'm saying? And, bro had a lot of demons he was fighting because of that, you know? So D and my nigga Africa, those are two niggas that stand out that I really bonded with. Now, it was another nigga too named AJ. Now, remind you now, when I first came to CP, I had to go back to court for the pending robbery charge. When I came back from the pending robbery charge, D and Africa, they already done been sent on to the prison that they was going to, which ended up being Tabor City. So when I come back the second time, I meet this nigga named AJ from Raleigh. Little light-skinned nigga, pretty boy type nigga, or at least he thought he was. I met him soon as I got back that day because we both was up front in intake. He was just coming from the county that he got his time in. So, we ran across each other at the same time. Plus, we ended up getting put in the same block or whatever. But the nigga AJ was a character, you know what I'm saying? But back to the nigga AJ I was talking about that I met the second time I came back around. He was one of them pretty boy types, like one of them think he God gives to women type of niggas, thought every female was feeling them, every CEO, every case manager, you know. But he did have a little shorty that was on his dick, a little CO chick, little young girl and shit. I ended up finding out later on, I ended up at Tabor City with him too. And come to find out, bro was like an habitual liar. A lot of shit that he told me, come to find out, a lot of that shit wasn't true. Then, in the end, he had some homo shit come out, with his name attached to it, and last time I saw or heard him, like, he had a bad name. Like, he was just some bullshit all the way. So I think the realest shit I probably saw at CP was just walking to the chow hall and seeing all the death row inmates in there eating this shit. They easy to identify because they all wear red jumpsuits, and that was that was humbling. You feel me? Because even though I had the time that I had and the situation that I was in, like it still wasn't as bad as they was. You know what I mean? So it's fucked up. But when you in situations like that, you gotta always think that it's somebody that's even in a worse situation. But overall, I was kind of ready to leave CP. I was ready to go on and get to where I was going so I could settle in and do that fucking time, man. I know my time at CP was just temporary. And, after about a month after they did all. So if, as far as extreme violence, like, it wasn't really a lot of that at Tabor City. Tabor City, when I got there, Tabor City hadn't been open too long. It was one of the newer close custodies. You know what I'm saying? So they was real adamant about making sure that the shit that was going down at the other close custodies, like, they weren't going for that. So as far as a lot of knife play and gang wars and shit like that, it wasn't a lot of that there. Like, now it was incidences. It was a few incidences that happened, you know what I'm saying? But Tabor City was kind of like the mountains as far as not being a lot of violence. But I mean, Tabor City went harder than the mountains though. But it was a lot of it was a lot of, like, your knuckle game had to be right at Tabor City, cause that's how niggas settle disputes. They go in the cell, they shoot the ones, and however it go, it go. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a lot of niggas go in that cell and come out looking like Elephant Man, you know what I'm saying? Like lumped up and like for real. The one incident I could think of that stand out was this nigga named VA. We called him VA. That's where he was from. Little young nigga. He was slim, but the nigga loved to fight. Like that's what he do. Like he was on some like UFC type shit. Like he used to work out and train just for battle. You know what I'm saying? But this what happened, right? And the shit funny because of how it all escalated, because it really was nothing on the surface, but I'm gonna tell you how it went down. So one day we locked back for count. The officers coming through counting, making their rounds, and this old lady was one of the officers, and I guess she went by his door, and I don't know what she saw him doing, but she accused him of jacking his dick on her, and she was real loud with it, so everybody that was locked back heard it. So niggas got on the door and start laughing and start clowning the nigga VA. And, you know, it was all fun and jokes to niggas, but niggas didn't know VA. See, the nigga VA, nigga, he one of them throw type, like, shell, like nigga was shell. You know what I'm saying? And nigga, the Crip nigga was one of the niggas that was, you know, laughing and joking about the situation, not knowing that VA really taking this shit to heart. Like, he taking it personal. Because VA claimed he wasn't doing whatever she accused him of doing in the first place. Then niggas clowning him, so he felt like niggas was trying to play him. So he thinking niggas trying to play him, you know, so the night go by. I don't think we came back out the rest of that night. So the next morning, you know, niggas done forgot about this shit. Like, niggas ain't even thinking about this shit. Niggas going about their regular everyday routine, right? So the thing about this shit is the Crip nigga got a visit. He got a VI this day. And I think his mama, or not, matter of fact, it was his girl. His girl was coming to see him and shit. So the nigga was in the barber chair getting lined up or whatever, but he don't know the nigga VA watching him the whole time. He lurking on him. He just waiting for him to go to his cell so he can slide on him. So whenever the nigga finish getting his haircut and he go to his cell, he don't even know, but the nigga VA right behind him. And man, when VA went in that cell, he beat that nigga. I'm talking about, he crushed that nigga, man. I'm talking about, nigga was hollering like a little bitch. And this nigga gang. And I kid you not, bro, when this nigga came out his cell, bro, like, the nigga, both his eyes was shut. One of the shits was like bloodshot red. Them shits was black. I'm talking about, yo, the nigga, both of his eyes was like, nigga could barely see. The nigga had to wear a pair of shades. He still went to VI. Ain't no way I would have went to VI under them circumstances, especially to see my girl or anybody. But the nigga went to VI, he had to put some shades on, and he put a little kufi on and shit on his hair, and went to VI like that, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't believe it, like, cause I'm like, yo, like, and the shit funny, cause like I said, like, the nigga had a VI on this day, man, and he got whooped like that early in the morning, you know what I'm saying? And when the Crip niggas found out about it, and another incident I could think of. Now, I think it was a little knife play involved in this one, was some Crip niggas. They got into it with the old heads. It was like 3 old heads. All the old heads, they old school, you know what I'm saying? They don't gang bang or nothing. They do them, you know, but all these niggas is big. I'm talking about all these niggas is like, look like they lift weights or just solid big country niggas. You feel me? So they got into it, I believe, they got into it at first on the yard. And I believe it was either a car game or it was the sports tickets the gambling tickets that niggas be putting out and shit like that. They got into it on the yard and they carried over to after yard closed and niggas went in the block. So one of the Crip niggas. Now this Crip nigga, he had some size on him too. Little young nigga. Him and one of the other, the old heads, they went in the cell or whatever. But one of the little Crip niggas, he supposedly had stabbed one of the niggas, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing major, like, nigga didn't have to go to the hospital or nothing. The little Crip nigga, he was little as hell. I fuck with that nigga though, cause he was one of them, like, he loved being Crip. Like, he banged that shit, like, to the fullest. And he was a little nigga, you know what I'm saying? He about 5'4", 110 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure when he stabbed the nigga, he didn't do too much damage cause it wasn't a lot of force behind it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it wasn't a lot of like niggas was getting active at Tabor City, but it wasn't a lot of knife play. It wasn't a lot of gang beefs and shit like that either. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit with me and Little Man, like when the situation where old buddy got his forehead cut open. You know, that was probably like the most major shit that happened at Tabor City at that time anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because when we did it, after we did it, like they locked the whole prison down. Like they had like we killed the nigga. Like the whole prison was locked down. Couldn't nobody move or nothing. Like shit was wild. So another thing that I want to rewind because I want to explain what my mind state was going into Tabor City, just leaving CP and processing and all that, because it's important, because it started the trajectory of how I was going to do my time. And, you know, when I got to Tabor City, I was kind of still in shock that I got the time that I got. You know, when I first went to CP, I had 10 to 12 years. You know what I'm saying? Now I still had the pending robbery charge, but in my mind, the whole time I'm thinking they gonna just run that shit together with the 10 to 12 years I already got. But when they gave me consecutive sentences, they gave me 9 to 12 more years to do after I do the 10 to 12. Like that shit was just like a punch to my stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I never forget standing in that courtroom and that judge told me what the sentence I had and that it was consecutive. And I was just like, I was in shock. Like I couldn't even move. And in my mind, the voice in my head kept telling me, still off on my lawyer, like knock this motherfucker out right now. And I really wanted to so bad, but I was so in shock. Like, it's like I just stood there. Like my lawyer had to tap me on the arm when it was all over. Like, yo, it's over. Like we got to go, you know, and that's when I should have hit him right then, you know, but so when I got back to the jail and I told niggas what happened, you know, they all told me, you know, don't worry about it. They all told me, don't worry about it. You can get the sentences ran together. Just write prison legal services in Raleigh, which is you know, 'cause they took the law library from out of the North Carolina prison system and gave us prison legal services, which is some bullshit. It's very rare that dudes get help dealing with them people. You know what I'm saying? But I wrote them, told him the situation, because I really was set up by my lawyer, I feel like, because for one, he told me the plea that I signed was for 6 to 8 years. Come to find out, that was some bullshit. Prison legal services told me, you know, once they responded to my letter, that it was never nothing in that plea agreement saying that it was for 6 to 8 years, you know. So another thing about it is too, I wasn't supposed to go to court till like November of that month. And they came and got me early. They came and got me in June when I supposed to went to court in November. They came and got me early and they didn't notify my family and let them know so they could be in court to, you know, to support me and to speak on my behalf and all of that. And with them, my family not being there, it really made it look like nobody gave a fuck about me. So I felt like they didn't really care as far as just locking me up, throwing away the key. They didn't give a fuck because they felt like, well, ain't nobody here anyway. So don't nobody give a fuck about them. And, I really felt like my lawyer set me up. Like to this day, I feel like that. And well, another thing too that bothered me was before I went in front of the judge, it was a nigga that was in there for having sex with a minor. And I guess I think her mama the one that ended up turning him in. But this nigga, they gave that nigga like a 2-year sentence, or they might have put the nigga on probation. It wasn't nothing though. It was some petty shit. But, I'm thinking like, yo, y'all gave me all this time and you got a nigga in here for having sex with a minor, a underage girl, and you basically let him walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even killed nobody. Like, all the robberies I got locked up for, like, nobody got assaulted. Like, nobody got shot at. Like, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, it just kind of let you know how fucked up the system is. You know what I mean? But getting back to going to Tabor City now with all this time, and not too long after I got to Tabor City, I got the response from Prison Legal Services basically saying it won't shit that they could do. You know what I'm saying? I signed the plea. That's what the plea was. Blase, blase. And when I got that response back, man, it was kind of like, damn, I got all this time and I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? But my mentality shifted then, you know what I'm saying? Because there's two ways you could do your time. You could do your time constructive, you know what I'm saying? Going to school and trying to better yourself and trying to get a degree in this or that and working and all of that shit. Or you can just get caught up in the prison routine and the prison politics and do your time like that. And when you do your time like that, ain't nothing but bullshit gonna come. You feel me? And I fell into the latter, and looking back at it now, when I think about it, like I developed a don't give a fuck mentality. You know what I'm saying? And me having that don't give a fuck mentality, that was my way of coping with my situation, because deep down I really did give a fuck, but it was easier to say I didn't give a fuck because it wouldn't matter as much to me. You know what I'm saying? And that was my mentality. Like, I didn't give a fuck. It is what it is. Like, it can go down. It could be whatever. You know what I'm saying? With another prisoner, with an officer, like anybody can get it. And that was my mentality. And I had that mentality for a long time. Like, I recently just got over that mentality about a few years ago when I realized I ain't gonna get out of prison with this mentality. You know what I mean? But Tabor City was hard. Tabor City was hard because of the officers and how they talk to you and how they treat you and how oppressive it was. You know what I'm saying? They write you up for any and everything. I got so many write-ups. But yeah, I got a lot of write-ups at Tabor City, man. Like, probably half the write-ups I got on my record, which is about 50 of them, 49, 50 of them, probably half of them started at Tabor City, and it had got to the point, man, where it was so bad as far as the officers fucking with us and oppressing us, that me and a couple guys, my nigga Lil Man was one of them, we all try to come together and try to rally the guys up and we basically we was tired, we was fed up, and all of us, the majority of us, had a bunch of time, and we was like, yo, we about to show the officers what can happen when you fuck with the wrong nigga who got a bunch of time. So the plan was after yard call, we was gonna ambush like 2 or 3 officers, cause when they close yard, like 3, 4 officers will come out to the yard and just escort us back to the blocks or whatever. So the plan was we was gonna ambush the officers, when they came, they escorted us back to the block, and we was gonna stab their ass up and do them real dirty, and a lot of guys, they agreed to be down with the demonstration until they really realized like we was dead ass serious and we was trying to do it. So on the day that it's supposed to go down, a lot of niggas backed out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas start making up excuses, and it was all type blood niggas, crip niggas, like everybody start backing out. And you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of niggas talk that shit, but when it's time to actually go, you see who really who. You know what I'm saying? And it went from being about 9, 10 of us to at the end, it was only about 4 of us left standing. Me, little man, another crip nigga named Satan. He had a life sentence. A nigga from Fayetteville, my nigga D, a nigga named D from Fayetteville, and my little nigga Keith, he from Greenville too. It was only us. So when we go back to the block, after we done seen niggas done backed out and done left us hanging, we go back to the block. My nigga little man, well, he was still ready to go. He was like, man, fuck them niggas, man. He like, we still gonna do it. And he asked me what I thought about it, and I'm like, nah, we ain't even about to do that now, because we ain't about to be. And to this day, man, I'm glad that shit didn't go down, because I would have never got the fuck out of prison, man. Like, on some real shit. If we would have did that to them officers, how we was planning to do it, like, we would have got probably 30, 40 more years for that shit. Know what I mean? So, yeah, and when me and you, 'cause me and you we done hit a few licks too, and we was doing our dirt or whatever, you know, I never forget when you backed out, you know what I'm saying? And you was like, you was falling back, you weren't doing that shit no more. And I'm glad you did, because you was smart, you know what I'm saying? Like you knew when to stop. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like I got an addictive personality. So anything I do, if I do something and I like it, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna keep going harder and harder. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I was at right before I got locked up, because I was about to start robbing banks. Like that really was a dream of mine to start doing that, and that's where I was headed. So I'm glad you was smart enough to realize like, all right, yeah, time for me to chill now and fall back. You know what I'm saying? And that bitch ass nigga Quan, he had did the same shit on me too. He fell back, you know, but I guess his shit won't go on his way. And when he got down and out, the nigga called me, and he was trying to down hit a lick. He was trying to do something. And I really should have cut the nigga off and stopped fucking with him right when he fell back. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, like, me and him was in deep, like we was in heavy, like we was hitting licks three, four times a week. You know what I'm saying? Then he just back out on me. So I start doing shit by myself. And that really was the best thing now that I look at it, when I was doing shit by myself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to get back. I'm gonna try to get back to the story, man. Yeah, so far as any altercations that I had at CP, I didn't have none at CP, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was pretty much laid back, chill. Like I said, everybody was in the same situation, just coming from the county jail. Majority of niggas had a bunch of time. Everybody was just chilling, man, ready to go and start their journey, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't get into no altercations at CP. Now, when I got to Tabor City, uh, okay, the first altercation is, it was a nigga, from Reedsville, my nigga Country. That's like right outside Greensboro. Me and him, we was real tight and shit. And okay, so Country had a homeboy there from Reedsville, and they end up falling out for whatever reason. Now, when I came to prison, this '09, this was the time where they took the cigarettes off the yard. Uh, Now, right before I got there, it was still cigarettes on the yard. They were still selling them in the canteen, but they only had about 2 months left before they took them off. So Country and Country homeboy had bought a bunch of this shit and stacked up on it. So when the day come where they stopped selling them out the canteen, he could just sell them on the yard and damn get his money like that. Country somehow knew where he stashed it at. The nigga had him stashing like some tubes of toothpaste or whatever. So when they fell out for whatever reason, I don't even remember why, Country had it in his mind that he gonna go in his cell and steal this tobacco. So he tell me what he gonna do. He just want me to watch out. So I watched out. Country went in there, did what he did, got the cigarettes.